Can you believe some people don't watch Dads Talk Tech? I know, it's crazy! Speaking of, are you ready to watch it? You know I am.
Welcome back to the channel and welcome to episode 10. Along with a great episode on tap, I also discovered that Chicks and Sticks has a family size bag available for you and the family to enjoy. So I sent one up to you, Keith.
Ah, yes, family size, right. Of course this bag of Chicks and Sticks is family size, and of course I was planning on sharing it with my entire family all along. I mean, there's no way I would sit down in one sitting and destroy this entire bag. Tell you what, for now, I'm just gonna set this bag down and I'll share it with them later on, like I was planning to all along.
Okay, great, Keith. Glad the entire family is going to be able to enjoy. And are you sure you knew that was a family-sized bag? Because you seem to get caught just a little bit off guard by that.
Well, of course I knew. I mean, who could sit and eat what has to be a 5-pound bag of Chicks and Sticks on their own and not share? I mean, how could that even happen in a world?
Well, good. Let's go ahead and jump right into our topic for today.
Perfect. So, what about Chicks and Sticks are we discussing?
Actually, we're discussing cutting the cord with an Amazon FireTV stick and YouTubeTV.
Well, it doesn't seem possible to cut cords with either of those.
Sorry, Keith, we're not actually cutting a physical cord. It's actually an expression for when you cancel cable TV service and then you use another service like over-the-air TV or a streaming service.
Yeah, I can see that totally working. You know, you really ought to be more clear though, or else no one's gonna know what you're talking about, and I could see people accidentally eating snack food without realizing that they were supposed to share it.
I knew you didn't realize you were supposed to share that huge bag. Can we get back to the Fire TV stick and YouTube TV cord cutting solution?
Dang it! So close. Yeah, well, we can talk about this, but this isn't exactly a new topic, right? This has been going on for quite a while.
Well, cord cutting isn't new, so you're correct there. However, what is new is the ability to do so with YouTube TV and Amazon Fire TV devices.
That seems a bit odd.
Well, it is. So let's just say that Amazon and Google got into a bit of a spat. And as a consequence, they really weren't supporting each other's technology. So you couldn't use YouTube TV on an Amazon Fire device. Fortunately, Amazon and Google found a way to work through their differences, and as a result, the consumer's the big winner. So now we can have YouTube TV on the Amazon Fire TV devices.
Oh, that's great. I have to say though, I think Nessa and we're pretty happy with our current service.
Yeah, I get that. I actually really like the convenience of cable TV, but for me it's becoming more and more of a pricing issue as cable TV gets more and more expensive. As a result, we're going to give YouTube TV on Amazon Fire TV devices a try.
Okay, so what do we need to do here?
Okay, so what we're going to do is cover the unboxing and connecting a Fire TV Stick 4K device to a TV, as well as the setup of the YouTube TV service. Now we're actually going to start with a trial of the YouTube TV service so that we can make sure that everyone in our household is on board and can figure out how to use the service and it's delivering everything that we need it to deliver.
How come? Isn't it just the same experience?
Actually, no, it's going to be quite different. And for me, with younger kids in the house and a wife that really has no great love of technology, I need to make sure that they're going to be comfortable with the experience and that there's not going to be grabbing of pitchforks and torches involved in this process.
Okay, that makes sense. Happy wife, happy life.
Yeah, now we're on the same page.
Well, let's jump right in then.
Okay, here we go. We're going to walk through the process of setting up our Amazon Fire Stick TV, as well as signing up for the YouTube TV service on that device. Okay, so here is the Amazon Fire Stick TV 4K device that we are going to install in the walkthrough. I haven't unboxed it yet. This is actually one of two that I purchased on Amazon Prime Day, so that'll tell you how long I've been holding on to these devices. One of them is actually installed up in our family room, and then I had a previously owned Amazon Fire TV device that's installed in our theater where we've been doing our trial of YouTube TV. This one I have held back in order to install for the camera and do that live with you. So let's go ahead and take it out of the plastic bag it ships in and then get it unboxed for you here real quick. And so you can see what it comes with here. It actually has an HDMI port and the remote included in the box. Let's go ahead and get this opened up. And we are to pull this little tab here, so you can see that comes off, and this was actually factory sealed up to this point. And let's go ahead and get this pulled out for us here. So let's go ahead and just open this up. And so we've got a few things here. We've got a USB to USB-C cable. We've got the power adapter, which is USB. We have the remote that's in this package, and I believe this section is going to have the batteries in it. Let's get those pulled out. And it does take AAA batteries, and they give you a couple of those. And lastly, we have the HDMI cable. Shouldn't say lastly, because we've actually got the FireTV stick 4K device here, also in plastic wrap. So let's go ahead and move this cardboard out of the way. You can see this device is pretty small, and they give you this extension cable, so if maybe the HDMI cables in the back of your TV, or if you want to plug this into a stereo, which you can do, I have actually done that in our family room upstairs. You don't have this super wide compared to an HDMI cable anyway, block in the way in case your HDMI ports are close together, and that would block one. So this will actually extend it out and get it away from the device, whether that's the TV or stereo, just a little bit. So I'll go ahead and put this aside. You can see the remote is pretty basic in terms of the number of buttons that it has on it. So let me get this removed from the packaging real quick here. And so you can see it's got some protective plastic on it. It is wireless, okay, so you don't have to have line of sight to this. So you can put the FireTV behind your TV, you can put it in a cabinet, and it's going to reach. I believe it also has some infrared capabilities if you need it to. But on this backside, you can see the thumb area here. We need to remove this door in order to put batteries in it, and it can be a little bit stiff the first time you go to open it, but that just slides off. And then we grab our two batteries and put those in positive towards that end, and it's actually kind of a spring-loaded deal there. I almost put that one in backwards. There we go. And then just put the remote cover back on. Slides on, snaps, and so you can see it's got a microphone button that you can use to do voice commands, power, home, fast forward with this, play and pause, and mute right on it, and then it's got a menu button and a home button. So these are the major functions. Again, it's super simple remote. It's designed to really kind of minimize the number of buttons you can have to press, but that also can be a little bit of a downside. Anytime you have to do any kind of keyboard input, it'll actually put a virtual keyboard on there, and then you can navigate with the multifunction control on that's integrated into the remote. So with that, let's go ahead and jump over to a TV, and we'll film what we've got going on the TV in order to see how you set this up. Basically what we'll do is we'll plug it in to the TV. We will then fire up the Amazon TV, install the YouTube TV app, and then once we do so, it's going to ask us to log in. Once we log in, it's going to ask us to put in a code so we can identify that particular device to YouTube TV, and at that point we are going to be good to go.
Oh, I gotta say, that was really easy.
Absolutely. Setting up the device and the service was really, really easy. What I want to do next is give you a little bit of feedback from the last 3 weeks of trial that we concluded so that you can understand what our experience was like and how it compares with cable TV. Okay, let's start with the good. The picture quality is great, and the price is reasonable considering the number of channels you get in our area. Speaking of channels, you get the local channels in our area as well as PBS. The DVR works well and has unlimited storage. You can have 3 simultaneous streams going at once, so that's usually enough to cover our entire household. The guide's functional enough, and navigating it using the FireTV stick remote is fairly straightforward. This is more of a function of the YouTubeTV service, but if you are traveling, you can bring it up on your laptop or even in your hotel room, and that can be a nice benefit. Now, let's talk about some areas that were problems for us. The guide doesn't have channel numbers, and even if it did, the FireTV stick remote doesn't have any way to enter them. The reason this is a problem for us is we have our favorite channel numbers memorized on our cable box, so it's easy for us to get to those channels quickly. That brings up another point. Each time that we have a viewing session, we need to launch the app in order to get into YouTube TV versus the cable box, which is always ready for business. So another problem for my wife and kids is they like the Hallmark Channel and Nickelodeon. Neither of those services are currently available on YouTube, so that means the expense of another streaming service and another app in order to get to that content.
That is a lot of food for thought.
Are we back to the chicks and sticks?
No, I really did mean the content. Although, now that you mention it, I really could go for a snack.
Oh, okay. Yeah, lots to consider if you're going to make that switch from cable TV to a service like YouTube TV. Also, we covered the Amazon Fire TV stick, but there's other options available like Apple TV and Roku.
Well, Bruce, I think it is time for a snack.
How about we close this episode first?
I knew I was forgetting something. Well, thanks again, everybody, for joining us for another episode of Dad's Talk Tech. And don't forget, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell like it's dinner time. Thanks, everybody.